स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our daily morning reading of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. We are reading from Canto 1, chapter 16, how Parīkṣit received the age of Kali. And we are reading the verses 26 to 30 since last 2 days. This is the third day. So we'll try to complete this purport today. We have read 4 paragraphs of the purport so far. So let's start reading paragraph 5 as far as the beauty of the Lord is concerned. Would anyone like to read this purport? Please,
Yes,
paragraph 5, please.
Yes,
please.
Is it Tara?
Yeah.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As far as the beauty of the Lord is concerned, he has some special features distinguished from all other living beings. And above and over and above that, he has some special attractive, beautiful features by which he attracts the mind of even Radharani, the supermost beautiful creation of the Lord. He is known, therefore, as Madan Mohana, or one who attracts the mind even of Cupid. Sri Jiva Goswami Prabhu has scrutinizingly analyzed other transcendental qualities of the Lord and affirms that Lord Shri Krishna is the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Param Brahma. He is omnipotent by his inconceivable energies, and therefore he is the Yogeshwara, or the supreme master of all mystic powers. Being the Yogeshwara, he is external form of, his eternal form is spiritual, a combination of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The non-devotee class cannot understand the dynamic nature of his knowledge because they are satisfied to reach up to his eternal form of knowledge. All great souls aspire to be equal in knowledge with him. This means that all other knowledge is ever insignificant, flexible, and measurable, whereas the knowledge of the Lord is ever fixed and unfathomable. Sri Sutta Goswami affirms in the Bhāgavatam that although he was observed by the citizens of Dwarka every day, they were ever increasingly anxious to see him again and again. The living being can appreciate the qualities of the Lord as the ultimate goal, but they cannot attain the status quo of such equality.
Thank you, Mataji. We'll comment on this part. It talks about Krishna's beauty, and then we will read further.
Okay.
So, in this paragraph 5, Srila Prabhupada has touched on one of the sweetest topics in all existence, which is Krishna's beauty, his Saundarya, his Kanti. We have heard in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says in 5.30, Vedum Kvadantamaravindalayaksham Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandarpa Kotikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, Krishna's Venu, his flute. So, what he is doing is Kwanantam. Kwanantam in Sanskrit means like he's playing it and he's making these sweet musical sounds out of his flute. And his eyes, Arvinda Dalayat Aksham. So, his Aksham, his eyes are Ayat. Ayat means wide and long. Like Arvind Dala. Arvind means lotus, Dal means petal. So Arvind Dalayaksham means Krishna's eyes are wide and long like a lotus flower. And then he talks about his head, Barahavatam Sam. So Baraha means peacock feather. So peacock feather is decorating his head. And then Brahmaji says that this peacock feather, it adds like playful majesty to his already divine appearance. And then his bodily limbs, they are like Asita Ambuda Sundarangam. Asita means dark and Ambuda means the rain cloud. So his anga, his bodily limbs are sundar, beautiful, as if they are tinged with the dark tone of rain clouds. So his complexion is shyam, like a fresh monsoon cloud. And how is a cloud? Cloud is soft, deep, and attractive. So, and then Brahmaji says, Kandar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shokam is so kamaniya, so attractive, so charming that his beauty surpasses Kandarpa Koti. Kandarpa means Cupid, Kamadev, and Koti means 10 million. So, Krishna's beauty surpasses the attractiveness, the charm of even 10 million cupids together. So, and that's why Brahmaji says, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, this line is a declaration of Brahmaji's love and surrender to the Supreme Lord. So, that's why he says, I bow down to him in awe and reverence and love. So, in this verse, and there are so many verses in Bhagavatam and other scriptures that describe Krishna's beauty. So, you can visualize this kind of descriptions, even these words, as a form of meditation, like you see his lotus eyes, hear his flute music, and feel the depth of his sham complexion, and offer your heart to this Govinda, the one who made beauty itself beautiful. So, when Krishna, there is another verse in Bhagavatam, when Krishna and Balram enter the wrestling arena of Mathura. So, at that time, women of Mathura say that just by seeing Krishna walking, his charming movements, and his glance, and his glance captures the life breath of all the women, even those who are already deeply in love with their husbands. So, Krishna's beauty is not just physical, it is spiritual, it is ever increasing, and it is so captivating that even the most renowned sages, the demigods, and even Krishna himself becomes bewildered by it. So, when we hear these descriptions about this most beautiful person, we want to meet this person. We also want to see him. So, his beauty attracts the soul, and it pulls the soul towards home, back to Godhead. So, in that regard, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 4.121, it says, Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Bali Kama Krishnendriya Priti Icha Hare Prema Nama. That when one sees Krishna's beauty, it's not just lust, but it is the highest form of love. His beauty awakens prema. Prema, we haven't even experienced the real prema in this material world. So his beauty awakens that inherent prema in us. And in Srila Prabhupada is writing in this section that the living being can only appreciate the qualities of the Lord as their ultimate goal. But in the last line, Prabhupada says they cannot attain the status quo of such equality. So, one cannot match, even 10 million cupids together cannot match Krishna's. So, Mataji, do you want to finish the rest of paragraph 5, please?
Yes,
This
Mataji.
material. Yeah.
Yes. This material world is a product of the Mahatattva, which is a state of the Lord's dreaming condition in his Yoga Nidra, mystic slumber in the causeless ocean. And yet the whole creation appears to be a factual presentation of his creation. This means that the Lord's dreaming conditions are also factual manifestations. He can therefore bring everything under his transcendental control, and thus, whenever and wherever he does appear, he does so in his fullness.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is as well, this little section of paragraph 5 is also like a powerhouse of a passage. It's talking about Lord's yoga nidra. Sometimes we go to sleep, and in our dream, there is a whole different world. A couple of days ago, I had a dream, where I had entered into a door. There were large walls to a compound, and I entered into a door, and the door opened into a very large field full of flowers. And, I saw that Srila Prabhupada was planting flower plants. And he was showing to some Matajis, see, this is how you have to plant after I go. And there were 4 Matajis standing behind Srila Prabhupada. And out of these 4 Matajis, I only recognized my god sister Sneha Bhakti. She'll be very happy if she's hearing this. So I see her and I go, oh, she's here already. Why did I get so late? So, like that. It was a total imaginary world. And in that moment, it felt so real. So, similarly, the Supreme Lord also, he lies down in the causal ocean, but his dream is real. Our dream is unreal. So he lies down in the causal ocean. In Sankhya philosophy, the cause of creation, Prabhupada is talking about Mahat Tattva here. So what Mahat Tattva is the total material energy. In Sankhya philosophy, the cause of the creation is called Mahat Tattva, total material energy. So simply by the glance of Mahavishnu, consciousness is created, and this consciousness is known as Mahat Tattva. So the total material substance from which all the elements, Bhumira, Punalo, Vayu, Earth, Water, Fire, Ether, and the mind, intelligence, and ego, they arise. So that is Mahatma. So Mahavishnu closes his eyes in what is called Yoga Nidra. So not the Nidra kind of Nidra we have, but it's called Yoga Nidra, sleep, where he is still awake inside. So he starts to dream. And so he's in his Yoga Nidra, which is not unconsciousness, but it's a divine conscious slumber. And in that, the Lord meditates and wills the creation into being. So from his dream comes uh, all the stars, all the planets, all the mountains, all the oceans, all the flowers, all the bees, all the birds, even you and me. So his creation is, this creation that Lord does, it's not even his full engagement. It's not even his full total business. It's like his side dream, compared to his full spiritual pastimes. And even though this creation, which originates from a dream-like condition, it is not, this material world is not an illusion. It is not non-existent. It is real, but it is temporary and relative. So, like a movie, events are not permanent. The characters are not the real person, but it's just a projection. So we can experience this. Yes, it is real. It has effect. So while in this material world is asat, it's temporary, but it is still a factual reality. It is a vyavharik satya because Krishna has energized it. So, for example, we can imagine a king for his entertainment. He orders a drama to be performed. The drama is going on, but in the middle of the drama, he wants to, he may have a wish to enter the drama as a character. So, he can do that. He can take a little role for a fun, but the script never controls him. So similarly, Krishna enters the material world and he's still Lord of the Lords. So that's why Srila Prabhupada writes at the end of this passage that he can therefore bring everyone under his transcendental control, and thus whenever and wherever he does appear, he comes in full form. So he's never affected by the modes of nature, always beyond. So, this fifth paragraph, it's about Krishna's beauty and, how grand his creation is. So, what do we learn? What do we take from this? We can have a perspective shift. This world is not even the main event. It is just Lord's dream pastime. So first thing, let's not get too attached, but while we are here, let's not get too attached to this dream, but let's try to enter the real pastime, the eternal real pastime. So somewhere I read that the spiritual world is his playground, and the material world is his dream. So our soul, that is his eternal companion, is longing to wake up in his arms and join him in his playground and play with him. Okay. Does anyone want to read? No, paragraph 6. Huh? I think I'll read paragraph 6 line by line and then just continue. Okay. Paragraph 6. The Lord, being all that is described above, maintains the affairs of the creation, and by his doing so, he gives salvation even to his enemies who are killed by him. So, after creating the material world through his expansions like Mahavishnu, the Lord doesn't walk away. He continues to maintain it. He provides our intelligence, the time factor, the karmic structure by which the souls can learn and grow. So his maintenance includes his maintenance through his various energies. It includes the physical laws like gravity and the change of seasons and the karmic balance. Every action has a reaction, and he provides support to the dharma. He says in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, whenever and wherever there is a decline in dharma, I will appear. So let's read this first line again. The Lord, being all that is described above, maintains the affairs of the creation, and by his so doing, he gives salvation even to his enemies who are killed by him. So Kans, Shishupal, Putana, they were all inimical towards Krishna. But because they died thinking of him, even in enmity, they received liberation, Sayujya Mukti, or impersonal merging. So Krishna is so pure and so powerful that any connection with him, even a hateful connection with him, it purifies the soul. In 10th Canto, chapter 87, there are prayers of personified Vedas. So Vedas are called Shrutis. So the Shruti is addressing to Krishna. They say, there is a verse, 10:87:23. So they say to Krishna that simply by constantly thinking of you, your enemies also attain the same supreme truth that the yogis get by controlling their breath, mind, and their senses. So those yogis, those who are in the path of mystic yoga, they subdue their senses and they control their mind by practicing the breath control and different severe austerities. And then if they succeed in thoroughly purifying themselves by this process, then they may eventually begin to realize the Paramatma, the personal form of Brahman within the heart. And then if they continue this meditation without any deviation for a long time, then they may end up, then they end up coming to a point of true God consciousness. But the same objective is achieved, in this way, this mystic yoga way, which is very difficult and uncertain. The same objective, the same destination, Krishna's enemies, these demons, they also attained because they were killed by Krishna during his pastimes on the earth. So, these demons like Kansa, Shishupal, they were obsessed with enmity towards Krishna. So, they were constantly thinking of him. And even that, they quickly obtained the perfection of liberation because Krishna killed them. So, even his enemies attain liberation. So, what to speak of those who love him? And further, Srila Prabhupada writes that he is attractive even to the topmost liberated soul. So, as we talked about Krishna's attractiveness, and this is what makes bhakti higher than mukti. Bhakti is not a step for liberation. Bhakti is beyond liberation. Next line, Prabhupada writes, and thus he is worshipable even by Brahma and Shiva, the greatest of all demigods. So, as we know, Lord Brahma, the creator, and Lord Shiva, destroyer, they are also very powerful. And yet they bow down to Krishna. Brahmaji says in 10th Canto, chapter 14, that I can't even understand even a drop of your mercy. And Lord Shiva, who, as we know, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, he is the greatest of Vaishnavas. Further, Prabhupada is writing, even in his incarnation of Purush Avatar, he is the Lord of the creative energy. The creative material energy is working under his direction, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, where Krishna says, Maya Dakshena. So he is the control switch of the material energy, and to control the material energy in the innumerable universes, he is the root cause of innumerable incarnations in all universes. So Prabhupada is trying to explain here why he takes innumerable incarnations in these innumerable universes, he does so to control the material energy. As we in first canto, third chapter, Ete Chanshatala Pumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that all the incarnations, they are either portions, either the plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, he is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, not just 10 avatars like Ram, Narsimha, Varaha, but, Krishna has countless forms in countless universes. And the Purusha Avtaras, when we saw the chart of Krishna's expansions and his incarnations, we saw that Purusha Avtaras, the Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, they are expansions of Krishna that deal with creation, maintenance, and supervision of the material world. So, this material world, the matter doesn't have any independent power, but it is energized by Krishna's will. And then Prabhupada is writing something very interesting in the purport. He says there are more than 500,000 incarnations of Manu in only one universe, besides other incarnations in different universes. So in 8th canto, there is a whole chapter 13, where we will see the whole list of different Manus. So each Manu rules for 71 Mahayugas. One Mahayuga is a cycle of one Chatur Yuga, Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar Kalyug. So like that, 17 Mahayuga. For 17 Mahayug, one Manu rules. And each universe goes through many cycles of many Mahayugas. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here in this sentence that, he is pointing to the massive scale of Krishna's creation, his unlimited control, and his such an intelligent arrangement. And further, Prabhupada is writing, in the spiritual world, however, beyond the Mahat Tattva, there is no question of incarnations, but there are plenary expansions of the Lord in different Vaikunthas. So this is the difference between material world and spiritual world. In material world, there are incarnations, but in spiritual world, Vaikuntha, it is beyond matter. So it does not need to be saved. So in spiritual world, there are no incarnations, but there are expansions. So, Lord expands into different Narayan forms, each presiding over a spiritual planet. And in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says that each Vaikuntha planet has a Narayan form with different qualities, but they are all Govindas. Next, Prabhupada is saying the planets in the spiritual sky are at least 3 times the number of those within the innumerable universes in the Mahat Tattva. And all the Narayan forms of the Lord are but expansions of his Vasudev feature. And thus he is Vasudev, Narayan, and Krishna simultaneously. So, in the same chart that we saw about the expansions and incarnations of Krishna, we saw the Vasudev form of Krishna is the original form of Lord in the spiritual sky, and from him come the first Chaturvyuha, the first quadruple expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha. And from them, all other expansions, including Narayan expansion, come. So Prabhupada is saying here that Krishna is Govinda, is Vasudev, is Narayan. They are all equal, but Krishna is the original. That's the. And Prabhupada is referring to a nice prayer in the last sentence. He is Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, all in one. His qualities, therefore, cannot be counted by anyone, however great one may be. So this purport is super long, but if we see, even in this purport, Sri Prabhupada hasn't covered all the qualities of Krishna listed in the verse. In other narration, we see Krishna's 64 qualities. Here, Mother Earth has described his 40 qualities. And as we know, Krishna has unlimited qualities. But even out of these 40 qualities, in the super long purport, Srila Prabhupada hasn't been able to cover all the qualities. He has just started to explain some details of some qualities, and the purport has become so long. So, what to speak of us, what to speak of me, we can just conclude by saying that Krishna's qualities, they are our shelter. So this verse helps us meditate on his qualities, and it inspires us in our daily sadhana, because these qualities are present even in his nama, his name. They are present in his devotees, his bhakta, in the shastra, and in his deity form, the vigrahas. So in that regard, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 1.96 says, तत्ववस्तु कृष्ण कृष्ण भक्ति प्रेम रूप नाम संकीर्तन सब आनंद स्वरूप. That tattva, the truth, the absolute truth is Krishna. Tattva vastu Krishna, but Krishna bhakti prema rupa. So that absolute truth, and loving devotion to Krishna is exhibited in the prema rupa, in pure love, prema rupa Krishna bhakti, and it is achieved through Nam Sankirtana, the congregational chanting of the holy name. So that is the essence of all the bliss. Sab Ananda. So to understand Krishna is not an easy job, but Krishna came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is so compassionate that he is not only giving himself, Krishna, to us, but he is giving the rarest commodity, Krishna Prema, love of Krishna. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatar, Daya. He is Mahavadanya Avatara. So whatever Krishna conscious movement is going forward, it is due to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, his magnanimous compassion for us, for the poor people suffering in this Kali Yuga. Otherwise, to become Krishna conscious is not a very easy job. So we've got this chance of becoming Krishna conscious by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by arrangement of the Supreme Lord. So we should not lose this opportunity. It will be suicidal if we come in contact with this movement, and yet we don't take it seriously. And all Srila Prabhupada is asking from us is following the 4 regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds minimum daily. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends, we always hear in Adilila 1731, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses the word Kirtaniya Sada Hari, always chant, 24/7, always chant. So that is the principle. But Srila Prabhupada has discounted that process heavily for us, and he's made it very easy for us. He is saying that simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even just for 2 hours, not always, not 24 hours, but just for 2 hours, then, we can do that. Because, we can't chant 24/7. We are so much overwhelmed by the influence of Kali. But Srila Prabhupada says, chant at least 16 rounds. Don't miss this. Don't miss this opportunity. And Prabhupada would often say, what's the difficulty? Just 16 rounds. So we can minimize our eating, sleeping, eating, defending, and when it gradually becomes less and less and eventually becomes nil, that is the perfection, when there is no other shelter other than Krishna. So in conclusion, this shloka, in the context of this chapter, what's happening is Dharitri, Dharani, the earthly planet, who has taken the form of a cow, is lamenting that due to the contamination done by Kali, I'm thinking that I have lost all these good qualities. And also, when we talk about Krishna's qualities, when he gave a lecture on these verses, Prabhupada emphasized on the Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So while we are relishing and glorifying Krishna's qualities, it is also important that we remember that we are parts and parcels of Krishna. So if Krishna has all these beautiful qualities and we are his parts and parcels, it means that we also have all these good qualities of him. And that is our inherent nature. He is Sindhu, he is ocean, and we are a little rock, we are Bindu of that ocean. And Prabhupada used the analogy of salt water, the ocean water is salty. But even if we take a little drop of ocean water and we taste it, that drop is also salty. So the salt is in the drop, in that little drop as well, but it's in the minute quantity. So, the ocean has got millions and trillions of tons of salt. But in that drop, there is also a grain of salt. So just like the drop of ocean water, it has all the qualities of the ocean, we being part and parcels of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, naturally, in our original position, not the contaminated one, in our original position, we also have all the good qualities of Krishna. But due to this contamination, material contamination, these worldly qualities have currently covered us because this is Kali Yuga. So that covering is possible because we are very minute. We have these qualities in very small quantity. That's why we are fallible. But Krishna is Achyuta, he is infallible. So in this verse, Mother Earth is saying that Shochami Rahitam Lokam Papmana Kalinekshitam. That now that Kali Yuga has come, I'm thinking that I'm very much, I'm going to be disturbed that people are losing their original quantities. So the thing is that we don't have to endeavor to acquire these qualities. These qualities are there within us, but they are just covered. So what we need to do is just remove the covering, just purify us by chanting Hare Krishna. Just like a knife. Knife is sharp, but if it has the cutting power, but if it is covered by some dirt, then it cannot cut. So our covering is Maya. So that's where Srila Prabhupada explains Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva. Mayavadi philosopher will say that we are in Maya right now, and as soon as Maya is taken away, we become God. But Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, the genuine understanding, is that the humble one. It's that we are not God, and we can never become God. But we can manifest our godly qualities when Maya is taken away. So that's the maximum where a soul can go. It can have godly qualities, but soul can never become a God. And that is achintya bhed abhed tattva. We are simultaneously one with God, but we are different from God. As part and parcel in quality, we are one. So that is our abheda, non-difference from God. But in quantity, God is great, but we are small particle. So that is the bhed, difference, our difference from God. So we are part and parcel of God, but if we fall down from the association of God, then we become material. So and we are meant to be spiritual. So we just start appearing like material. So our original position, we just have to revive it. We just have to remove the covering, sharpen the knife. So this dust needs to be removed. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chetu Darpana Marjanam. So this Krishna consciousness movement, it's just a mean to revive the original consciousness. So these qualities become, the qualities that Krishna has, they become visible in us as well. So there is this verse in 5th canto, it says, Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunestatra samasati suram. That sarvai gunair, all the exalted qualities of God, all the godly qualities such as dharma, knowledge, renunciation, they become manifest in the body of those who develop unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because then they are constantly in contact with God. So Prabhupada says that is the test of your Krishna consciousness. If one is actually advanced in Krishna consciousness, in that person you won't find material contamination. So if Krishna, some of the qualities mentioned in the verse were Satyam, Shaucham, Daya, Shanti, Tyag, Santosh, Arjav. So many qualities are mentioned, but if the God is Satya, he is truthful. He is Shaucham, he is the quality of cleanliness. So if one is fully Krishna conscious, then one will be Shaucham, always clean, taking 3 times bath, the body clean, the mind clean, the clothes clean, his activities clean, his thoughts, his desire, his thinking clean, everything clean. So no contamination. So that is the test of our Krishna consciousness. And the test we don't need to apply to others. That test is for our self-introspection. We check if we have reached that level yet, if we have developed the godly qualities. So in our verse, it says that Ete chanye cha bhagavan nitya yatra mahaguna. So these qualities are eternal, always present in the Supreme Lord. By cultivating these qualities, we can cultivate these qualities by following the path Srila Prabhupada has shown us. And when we do so, when we cultivate these godly qualities, when we try to do so, we become aligned with the eternal, divine, Satchit Ananda, reality of life. So Prabhupada repeatedly emphasized that we are meant to be godly. We are not God. So even in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada explains that a devotee acquires the qualities of Krishna to some extent because of their constant contact with Krishna, and that is not by imitation, that is by association of Krishna. Pure devotee, he never wants to achieve the qualities of Krishna. That is never the intention, but just by association of Krishna, automatically these qualities develop. So that's why whatever services we do for Krishna, our devotional services to him, it's not just any ritual. They are meant to purify us. And when one serves Krishna purely, automatically one becomes truthful because Krishna is Satya. Automatically one becomes clean because devotion purifies their heart. And one becomes tolerant, gentle, forgiving, because all these are reflections of Lord's own character. So I think we will conclude here. There is more and more we can say on these words, how what efforts, what practical steps we can take to introspect, and how we can try to develop these godly qualities and try to go near and near Krishna. But that will leave for some other time. Let's conclude here. If anyone wants to share any reflections or realizations, have any questions or corrections for me, please feel free to share. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful class.
Hare Krishna. Have a lovely day. Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.